one night I was in the city having a date weekend with my beautiful wife. We're walking down South Bank. We went to a beautiful restaurant. I had some pasta. I had my glass of red. And then all of a sudden, I didn't know what was going on. I was freaking out. It was like my brain was having a seizure.
Matt, how did you find Carnivore?
Well, first of all, Dave, just want to thank you so much for having me on your show. It's an absolute honour. And I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all the hard work you do to get the carnivore word out there. So, so yes, coming back to the question, I actually it was about 2010 where I found it originally. So back 2010, I was almost 40 years old. I was pretty much overweight. I was almost 100 kilos, and being a 39, almost 40, it's like, right, got to get my life back into shape. So I did the whole gym thing, did the running, protein drinks, clean eating. Well, so I thought was clean eating back then, um, and all that kind of stuff. And it was like the pounds kind of gradually came off, but not dramatically. And giving up my alcohol, there was no way I was ever going to do that either. So after a few years, I was kind of going, you know what, it's just not working. So I jumped on the internet, did the whole YouTube thing, and that was about 2016. So the 5 years of me trying to lose weight and trying to be healthy, it was it was a long journey. But then 2016, I came across Dr. Sean Baker and the usual suspects. Now, back then, there wasn't that much information about carnivore. So, but what uh, Dr. Baker said really made sense to me because, first of all, I wasn't really a big fruit eater and I really didn't like vegetables. So, of course, it was like, this is the ultimate for me, you see. So I just jumped in straight away. I just did everything carnivore, and yeah, the weight just came off. But at the time, I didn't realize how healthy I actually felt. So I did that for about 6 months, and I think I got to about 68 kilos and nice and lean, and I felt fantastic. And I thought, you know what? I'll try another diet. And so I totally ditched the carnivore and I actually went on to the potato diet, which I've only just remembered that. So potatoes for like that's all I had was potatoes for about 3 months. But it's funny when you actually hear people give their reason why this is the best diet in the world, you go, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But you don't really analyze it properly and go, well, hang on, that's kind of stupid. But so yeah, imagine just eating potatoes for 3 months. That wasn't good. So I thought, you know what, this isn't working, and I'm feeling really bad. And just potatoes, it's not that good.
3 months on potatoes. Did you
Yeah.
like put on weight, lose weight, feel unhealthy? Any
Um.
change?
Yeah, a bit. I did. I absolutely put on weight. And I just felt sluggish and I felt really bad. I'm going, nah, I've been scammed. So I thought, that to vegetarian, I mean, hey, what can go wrong with being a vegetarian, right? Oh man, for 10 months, I reckon the last 3 months of that 10 months, I felt so sick. The brain fog was probably the worst. Like, I felt the best way I could describe it is I felt really thin, as in inside my head. There's a show, a movie called Get Out. I don't know if you've seen that. It's kind of like a suspense movie where the main character in his body kind of falls out of his body, I suppose, and what's reality is only like a small little screen that he can see, and that's how I felt all the time. Like reality used to be out here and now it's getting really really thin, and it's just weird, like brain fog completely. But I kept on staying on the diet for like another 3 months, and then all of a sudden it just hit me, something is severely wrong with me. And so I just stopped it. So I just remembered getting some meat on the barbecue and just enjoying that, but going, okay, where's that change going to be? And like nothing happened because it was such a gradual thing. But I thought, right, there's something wrong. So after that, um, I just went back to a normal diet, like a normal. Well, I thought again a clean diet, but it was the carbs, it was sugar, it was rubbish. Like I wasn't eating rubbish like I used to when I was almost 40. I think I was more of a almost keto eating kind of diet, but again, I wasn't giving up my alcohol. That was a real vice, and I was having like half a bottle of red every night. And I know a lot of people would say, "Oh, well, that's not much. Like that's just what they drink anyway." But and I always thought, I'd be able to give up alcohol if I had to. You know, I could do it, but deep down, I'm thinking, I think I've actually got a problem with that as well. Back in back in 2020, when COVID hit, that's when things started to happen in my head again. I was starting to get really bad tinnitus, really, really, really bad ringing, and then I started to get the wonks, and thinking something's wrong here. So one night I was in the city having a date weekend with my beautiful wife. We're walking down South Bank. We went to a beautiful restaurant. I had some pasta. I had my glass of red. And then all of a sudden, I got my first big vestibular migraine. And I'd never had one before, and I didn't know what was going on. I was freaking out. It was like my brain was having a seizure, and everything was going really, really weird. It was like the walls were kind of bouncing in and out. I'm going, oh my god, something's really wrong. Something is incredibly wrong. So we obviously ended that night not so spectacularly. And then I had to went to the doctors. The doctors didn't really know what was going on. Same old thing. So I went to a neurologist, had a CT scan, had an MRI, and the neurologist said, "Oh, look, you're having a vestibular migraine," and that kind of set off vertigo, which is an absolute horrible thing. I wouldn't wish vertigo upon my worst enemy. It's just it makes life a misery. You can hardly walk, you can't drive properly, you can't even go into a supermarket to get food because all the lights in the store is this oversensory, and it just makes your life a living hell. So it was years before I could actually start getting better. And the thing is that that brings on depression, anxiety, and worry, and like most things, that it causes vestibular migraines again. And it was just a horrible part of life. So I'm thinking, okay, it's got to be diet. So I did the whole research thing again. And at the start of this year, my wife unfortunately got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And I just said to her, look, all right, sweetheart, let's do the diet together, because I don't know, most people would know in any diet, if the other members of the family aren't eating the same as you, it's really, really difficult to cook one meal for one person and everything else for the rest. So I said to my wife, look, I'll jump in keto friendly because it's, low carbs, all that kind of stuff, everything that you need to get back into, getting rid of this. So she was on the normal medication that a type 2 diabetes is. But what had happened was, come just in April again, the dizziness was just come back again, and it was really, really, really bad. So I thought, okay, there's got to be a better way of doing this. And I was getting sick of all the exercises and all the conflicting information from doctors and specialists, because with vestibular and vertigo, there's different types, but mine was the ones that was sensory as well. So I constantly had pain behind my eyes. Like, it didn't matter what I was doing. It was like just pain there, and also to just, I call it my not quite right feeling. And I think most people with my condition call that as well. It's hard to explain what it is, but the moment you wake up, you're kind of waiting for it, and you go, "Oh yeah, there it is." It's this feeling that's just not right, and your whole day's governed by it. So even just getting up in the morning, you go, "Oh, there it is," till the moment you lie back down at night, it's there, and it's just horrible. So I said to my wife, okay, let's change our diets. So we jumped back in the keto. And then I thought, oh, hang on, carnivore. This sounds really familiar to me. So I jumped back online. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, 2024, there is so much information about the carnivore diet. I could not believe it. I was just going through so many websites like Dr. Berry, because back in 2017, when I was originally did the carnivore, I did see Dr. Berry's website, but he wasn't carnivore back then. He was just keto. So to actually see him on Carnivore was like, okay, things are really happening. Obviously, found your channel too, Dave, with just the amount of testimonies, and I'm just flicking through them, just going through and going through them. But I couldn't find anyone that had vestibular migraines or vertigo. So I'm thinking, all right, it looks like I'll be the guinea pig on this one. But the one that did it for me was the steak and butter gal. She just had some awesome stuff, and the whole thing about the fat and the butter just made sense to me with your head and your brain. I'm thinking, okay, well, that's where my problem is. So I started just, straight carnivore again. I've got my butter and I'm eating it, and boy, did I make myself feel sick, like, because my body just couldn't handle it at that time. I'm going, oh man, am I am I just jumping in too quickly, or is my body saying, nah, we're not doing that? So I just kind of eased off, but then gradually, oh yeah, it was the butter made myself so good. So within the first two, I think it was first 2 weeks of carnivore, I didn't realize, but that not quite right feeling in my head was completely gone. Like, it was gone. It just blew my mind. And then also, to which I didn't mention, I had hypertension, so really high blood pressure from all the meds that I was taking, which I didn't say that either. I was having Advil, which is a anti-inflammatory. I was having, I don't know, 3 or 4 lots of those throughout the day just to handle the vestibular migraines, because I was getting them all the time. But I stopped, like, I'm not on any medication now, and I think within the first 2 or 3 weeks, yeah, I beginning to ease off those, because I was still worried about getting those feelings, but nah, they were totally gone. And I thought, oh, 2 weeks, let's try my blood pressure, 100% normal. Like, it just blew my mind. So after doing that, I'm going, okay, this is it. Like, I'm not going back, and I just feel so good. So again, I'm still dropping weight. Not that that's the thing I'm after, but I tell you what, it certainly feels good, feeling slim, feeling healthy. Um, Back to 68 kilos now, and I'm 53. And I'm feeling fantastic. The only thing that's going on with my head still is that part of it's completely gone. It's completely healed. The only thing that's making me a little bit vertigo is the eustachian tubes, which is from the ear to the sinuses. That's blocked, like, all the time. So I'm thinking, oh, is Carnival going to do that? But it's just stuff that I've got to keep on researching and get rid of. But it's got, the whole vestibular migraines completely gone, and the majority of the vertigo is gone as well. So yeah, it's fantastic, Dave.
That's awesome. Congratulations. And what, just weight wise, what a difference 100 kilos to 68. That's
Oh
crazy.
man, I know, right? And people are going, oh, you don't want to get too skinny. It's like, well, no, like, I've got more energy now than I ever have.
Mm,
And I do have my coffee as well. I love my coffee.
mm,
Um, oh, and did I say that about the alcohol? When I did get really, really sick with the vestibular, that's when I did give up the alcohol. So I was like, yeah, I'm giving it up. So I haven't drunk for a long time. I might have the occasional social beer, but that's it. Like, I don't have any alcohol in the house. But it's just it's just incredible, and especially when you start talking truth to people. And it's funny how just being a carnivore fits into the conspiracy theory with lots of people, because you start talking about this, oh, and they go, oh, I don't know about that, you know, and it's like they look at you as if there's this, you know, you're a conspiracy theorist. I was actually driving through a rural area in New South Wales on a job the other week, and one of my work colleagues is said, "Oh, look at all the canola uh, or flowers," but I'm pretty sure canola flowers are actually weeds anyway, which is full of poison. And I said, "Oh, dude, don't have that stuff. That canola oil or any seed oil is extremely bad for you." And I just got this bit of a pause going. Nah, surely the government wouldn't let us, you know, have poison in our diet. It's like, oh, dude, really? But it seems to be like that with most people, and most people that you have, that you like, your loved ones of your family have got some chronic sickness in their body, which generally all just leads to, you know, really bad inflammation anyway. Or, you know, close friends, and you tell them what you're doing because they say, Matt, you're looking, you know, you're looking so good. What's going on? And you tell them, and they go, yeah, it's not for me, or I don't think I could do that. And it's like, guys, just give it, you know, 4 weeks. Just say, look, I'm going to try it for 4 weeks. If it doesn't work or I don't feel better, I'll stop. But I don't know, people would rather their sickness over their health, Dave. It's just weird.
Well, I think there's a few problems going on there, you know, like the first thing is if you say you shouldn't eat seed oils or, like you shouldn't eat any of this processed food, you're instantly labeled a right-wing conspiracy theorist. And it's like, how did you make that leap? But it's understandable how they've made that leap, right? Because basically the media or anyone that disagrees with you because they've got a financial interest in the opposite of what you're saying is going to poo-poo your ideas, and they're going to try and marginalize you, right?
Mm.
And at this stage there's more of them than there are of us, right? There's more people profiting off the status quo than there are people that are not profiting at all and just wanting to get the word out there, right?
Yep.
And so yeah, we're just seen as crackpots.
Oh,
But
oh, absolutely. But
yeah,
what's interesting is when my wife went to the doctor for her type 2 diabetes, when they said, hey, look, this is what you got, we're going to send you to a dietitian. And I said to her, oh, can I come? Because I want to pick his brain, talk about food, talk about, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we get there, and all he's talking about, now this is a dietitian, is talking about medication, right? And I looked at him and I said, when are we talking about, you know, what we eat, what she puts in her body? And he goes, oh, all right, so what has she been eating? So, you know, my wife tells him, and he goes, oh, no, that's okay. It's like, well, hang on, if it was okay, she wouldn't be a diabetic. Like, they got no idea.
it's like, what are we
Dietitian,
paying you for? I could have said that's okay too.
exactly. So, Dave, what do you do, mate? I think you got to be your own testimony. People will ask if they literally want good health, change what they put in their body. And look, our bodies have been designed to self-heal. I mean, that's just the absolute miracle of our bodies. So if we fuel it with the proper food, it's going to heal itself. So it's so exciting.
Yeah, it really is. And I like the way you're talking about the self-healing there, right? Because I always kind of relate this to, the animal kingdom, right? And that's the way it works in the animal kingdom, right? You don't have rows of hospitals for like sick donkeys and all this kind of thing, right? They just do their thing and they self-heal and they get on with it, right? It's only us that have the chronic diseases, or our dogs and cats, because feed them the same crap that we eat.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this stage, is your wife joining you on this?
Uh, um, I'm hoping she will. She's at that crossroads where the you know the medication's not really, like, it's got more about like an adverse effect on her. And I'm just, there's no pressure. I just give her those little I'd send little messages with like some of your stuff that you have. I said, "Oh, look, sweetheart, check this out. Like, check out what's going on with this testimony." But again, people will do what they want to do. So, yeah, I'm always open to do it. And that's another thing too. The amount of freedom that I've got in food now, I just can't believe it, because you don't have to think, oh, what am I going to have for dinner, or what do I feel like? Where can I go? Like, it is so simple. And once the sugar cravings go and the carbs cravings go, like, all you want is meat. Like, it is so easy, and you don't eat all the time. Mostly, I don't eat breakfast if I'm not working at home. I just feeling great, and ribeye, whatever I can, whatever fatty things. And that's another thing too. With what I found with myself, I've got to make sure that I do have those fatty elements of the diet. So the butters, the tallow, all that beef fat, because that is what is really good for my brain. So as long as I've got that, my body is like, that's all I think of for food. So I think when people get that scary idea of, oh, I don't think I can just eat meat all the time, or well, I have eggs and as well. But it's not like that. Once those cravings are gone, your body will truly thank you, and that's all you'll think about. So
That's right.
yeah,
I mean, it's a complete perspective change, right? So when you're first talking to people about it and they're like, there's no way I could do that. How you like, there's no way. I know myself. I can't just eat steak. I can't just eat meat and eggs. I can't, like, that's impossible. But you need that 30, 60, 90 days of doing it for your
yeah.
body to go, yeah, oh, that's right. This is the way you were meant to be feeding me the whole time. I don't
You're
need that
probably
cardboard anymore. Right. So, with your eating, you're sometimes eating breakfast. Like, how else is it structured for you?
Oh, look, it just depends on my day, because if I'm working from home, well then, you know, like my morning is normally I get up maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. That's when I get up for work generally, and I just have my coffee. But I could go straight till mid-afternoon without having anything to eat really. Whereas back in the day, like if I had to do some fasting, like intermittent fasting, because I knew that was good for me, I couldn't do it. Like the carbs had me so sick, and if I didn't eat within 4 or 5 hours, I literally went white, and I thought I would pass out if I didn't have some food. But because I'm getting that goodness into my body all the time, and my body knows, it's going to get a good meal sometime that day. Like I could go the whole day without eating, and I feel 100%, and I don't get any lows in my energy either. It's just insane, Dave. So it's amazing.
So it's really just you eat whenever you're hungry. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And mainly, as you were saying, ribeyes and stuff like that.
Yeah, ribeyes, and the good go-to for me at the moment is just really good burger patties. And so yeah, I just do them on the barbie, and then just put some cheese on top, and that's just a couple of those just fills me up, and I feel great. And yeah, and generally either a ribeye or a Scotch fillet at night time. So yeah.
I'm jealous. When I lived in Melbourne, I had a barbecue and I never used it once. And
Ah,
now I wish I was able to use it all the time, but I've only got a balcony here, and the lady upstairs wouldn't be happy with the barbecue smoke on her washing. So
oh, the old cast iron skillet, that'll do, Dave, I reckon. That
yeah.
does a good job too. So, but look, I forgot to say too, as a kid growing up, at a really early age, I I had health issues. Like I had really bad IBS. I seemed to spend half my life sitting on the toilet in extreme pain, because I was a very highly strung person, and so that would just bring it on. So I was always, if I was happy, I'd feel sick. If I was sad, I'd feel sick, and that was the majority of my life until, I suppose, I hit 30s, uh, not realizing, oh yeah, most of that was to do with the food that I ate, which wasn't probably good. All those fried foods like the dim sims and potato cakes and all that stuff you get, not good. But since being on this as well, I've really noticed that, yeah, I don't have any of that problem, and just the peace as well in my mind, incredible, life changing.
Yeah, that's nice. So has anyone said anything to you about it, like friends or anyone at work kind of said, hang on, how come you don't eat? Or when I see you eating, it's just steak?
No, look, I've actually got a really good mate. He's doing the carnival. Him and his wife are doing it at the moment as well, and they're seeing the benefits. So it's good. And my wife, she's been a really good support for me. Um, so that's good. But yeah, look, I think people don't. To me, people don't actually see you not eat, but they do see you lose a lot of weight, and they'll go, "Oh my God, look how thin you are. What the hell's going on?" So that's when I can tell them. That's when I can give them the conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff. See how they want to take it. But yeah, that's pretty much it, Dave.
Sorry, when you mentioned your weight there, I just realized I remembered a question I forgot to ask you. How tall are you?
I'm just under 6 foot.
Oh,
Yeah. So look, the curse of my life is that I've got a long torso and little legs. So I've got a lot of body mass, but these tiny little legs. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
nice, nice. So, if someone came to you and said, "Look, Matt, I want to start Carnivore, but how do I do it? What's the best way to for me to get started?" What would you advise them?
Um, yeah, look, probably not what I did. Probably, I suppose my personality, and I don't know if it's a guy thing as well. If we just jump straight into, all right, let's just do cold turkey. Um, I think doing it properly as well for me, because I had already given up alcohol by this time, and that was I think a big vice in my life. To do a complete in that, like a complete cold turkey, you're just asking for problems. So the thing that you know that you've got the most problem with, whatever addiction that is, food wise or drink wise, I would start on that first and get that under control. Just maybe then just stop the sugar, just like the full sugar, and then the carbs, but slowly just get it down. And if you haven't got a taste for meat, start building that up as well, because yeah, you will get to love it. Your body will like it. So yeah, just do it gradually. Do it at your own pace. Listen to your body. I should have listened to my body years ago. Not not what experts say. Yeah, but just do it. Just jump in head first. Absolutely.
Words to live by. Listen to your body, but not what experts tell you. That's actually, yeah. Because the experts are not exactly, they're academic experts. They're not necessarily an expert in your own body, right?
No, that's right. That's
Mm.
exactly right. And look, what I learned from my journey, from the vestibular migraines, is that no one's actually going to hold your hand, like medical wise, and take you where you should actually go, because everyone will tell you something different, what you should need to do, and you're scratching your head, going, where am I going? Who do I see? What do I need to do? So it's you literally have to do your own research, and listen to people, again, testimonies as well. So I think most people do jump on YouTube, but trying to get those testimonies of people that have done it, and just even seeing specialists and going, hang on, I've just seen the same specialist for the last 6 months. I've gone like twice a week. They do their little therapies. It ain't working. So just just walk away, because if they're just trying to rip you off, and I think a lot of those specialists do, just nah, look for something else. So yeah,
Yeah. If if nothing's improved after weeks and weeks of that, they're not all that special, right?
I think their pocket is. It's nice and
Yeah.
money that you're giving them. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, so Matt, if people want to reach out to you, do you have any social media or any way of getting in contact?
I've got an Instagram account, so you can do that.
No worries. So I'll put that in the show notes. Matt, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your story. I really appreciate your time.
Oh, mate, thank you so much for inviting me, and it's been a blast. And I just hope people are encouraged and just get out there and control your health and have a really good life. So awesome.